Hey, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Griefdrums and welcome back to another episode of Top 3 Tips. Fingers crossed this will be 3 new pieces of information that will hopefully help you to improve. The logic behind this series is I want you guys to get involved. I don't just want this to be, me finding stuff around the community and then showcasing it. I'd love it if you guys could also get involved and showcase your own tips and tricks. So if you want to do that, please feel free to head on over to my Twitter, my Discord. All the links to those are going to be down in the description below, but chuck me anything you've got and then I can go ahead and take a look at it and see if there's a way that I can showcase it to the benefit of others. So today's first tip that we're going to be breaking down, this series predominantly in the past has always been to do with angles or lines of sight or something along those lines that you can get. I mean, a perfect one was, I looked at this window here. If you rappel up, you can get a tidy line of sight, but you get the point. This tip, however, is going to be a bit more of advice. This is going to be something that I've noticed myself doing more and more lately, and I was hoping to showcase it so that others could potentially get some use from it. Now, we're going to be talking about mag dumping. For those of you that don't know what mag dumping is, as the name suggests, dumping your magazine into a barricade in the hope of opening it. Now, with Siege being what it is, random shots can literally just kill people through barricades, as we know, just a random lucky wall bang. Even a hip fire from across the map can get you one of those lucky kills, and it can be extremely beneficial, but let's just assume that someone was on the other side. We haven't actually hit them, and the second this opens, you've got 8 rounds to engage them. You know, someone was hiding behind here, ready for a run out. It was a Valk or something like that, just literally sat in here. The doors come wide open, and the second you've done that, you've got 8 rounds left and start reloading. She pops out and just kills you because you're stuck in a situation where you have to reload. Even if you dip back into cover, you're vulnerable. So what we're going to do is we're going to break down this tip that I've been implementing recently that I've found is actually pretty beneficial. Now, before we do this, a lot of you potentially could be saying, why don't you just go up and punch it? You know, that exists. You can do that, but you'll notice a lot of pros and stuff shoot through barricades because you stand a higher chance of getting a kill. If you go ahead and knife the barricade open, it takes 3 hits. You're pretty vulnerable even if you're punching from here, but you're not going to get that kill. There is no way you could get it unless they're right up against it, and I mean, you're going to need serious luck. Whereas by shooting through, you stand more of a chance, especially if you do it around common areas. So, for example, on the other side of this barricade is the counter. By shooting around here, I could also get someone while I'm opening this barricade. So it's kind of a twofold win-win sort of deal. So the tip itself is going to come in this format. Now, you will have seen earlier, I opened that other barricade and I had 8 rounds left. If, however, you're coming up to a barricade and you put a load of rounds in and then reload, you've now back up to full magazine size, and then you just put a couple more rounds in. I now have 26 rounds to go into that engagement with to take anyone out that's in there. That's the logic behind it. So I'm going to go and showcase this on a couple of different windows and doors and stuff like that, just so you can see it, and hopefully it'll make a little bit more sense. But this door here, for example, I'm going to go ahead and shoot it a load. I'm going to reload, and then I'm going to go ahead and drone, do whatever it is I do, so that anyone that was there, it potentially doesn't pay a massive amount of attention to it. They could have cleared off if I leave it long enough, or if I'm busy helping my teammates do other things. But then when I do finally come to push in here, it only takes a couple of rounds, and then I can act on what I've just seen, or call-outs, or whatever it is I'm doing, in a much more, I don't want to say safer environment, because it's not a safer environment, but rather than having 6 rounds, I've got 26 to work with. So you're in a better situation than you would have been. So that's pretty much the whole tip. Hopefully it's something you can implement. Just put a few rounds into a window or a door, and then later on in the round, capitalize on that and use the extra ammo that you've got. So for the next tip today, I'm going to be showcasing a defender tip. However, I am using Gridlock as an attacker just purely because of the fact she makes it easy for me to be able to showcase this as clearly and as simply as possible. So in the kitchen, you'll very often in both ranked and pro league, you'll see this wall here reinforced, you'll see this wall here, and then this final one will be soft. And the logic behind that is teams will normally open up the top section of the wall just here. And I've had people ask me, why are you doing that? That doesn't really make any sense. I mean, you can't see anything over it, can you? Or maybe you can, I just don't know. Well, it's not so much from this side that you're going to be looking. Yes, you could potentially do that, but you're going to be seriously exposed to this window. So as a defender, if you go ahead and open up that section, what you can then do is you can rotate off to other parts of the map. and you can go and assist, you can roam, you can waste time, and you can do whatever it is you want to do. It works really well as sort of someone with an ACOG, but it's not necessary because you can use the speed of ops like Bandit or Jaeger. You know, someone like that. Mozzie can be quite good because he can put his little drones out just to sort of defend himself and keep him reasonably well hidden and just as a bit of a deterrent. But from up here, you can actually keep an eye on that kitchen window. So what you can do is you can look through, and anyone that vaults in, you can just light them up. Or alternatively, you've got a quick rotate back down, and you can get an even better line of sight out of the window should you need it. Having an ACOG can be handy. You don't need it. But you can see here, if I shoot that point there, that is actually the swimming pool behind the half wall. So if anyone is sticking their head over that, they're going to be trying to look into the kitchen. They're not going to be looking all the way through, and they're certainly not going to be looking a floor above. So you can quite easily just pop heads from here. Now you do need to be careful of the roof. You obviously need to know where people are. Realistically, if it's, you know, the dying minutes of the game and you think they're going to come in from that way, that can be a good way to hold just to protect that single window. Or alternatively, you can move further out and you can cover the single door coming into kitchen. There's loads of different places you can utilize that angle from. With the wall being soft, you can nitro it, you can impact it, you can do whatever you need to do to get back into the site, and it just creates that different avenue. Now the other cool thing about playing this sort of an area and having the freedom to move around is the number of rotates that you have got available to you. You can obviously utilize the hatches to drop down into the office, or alternatively into the security room just over here. You've got the white stairs you can drop down should you need it. So depending on what is going on later on in the round, you can use all these different spots to get around different parts of the map and just cause a bit of a nuisance, be that awkward pain. You know, get their attention from there, drop into here, and appear from somewhere completely different where they're not expecting. So that is the logic behind that reinforcement, or lack thereof. Hopefully that explains that a little bit. You'll see it often used in Pro League games like with G2. I think it was Cryan was holding this angle earlier today, actually, on the game against Youngtis. So, you know, there are lots of reasons for it. Try it. See how it get on. See how it works out for you, and see if it can be beneficial to you. So the final tip for today is going to be a Val Cam. You've probably not been able to see it just yet because it's down there hidden under the bomb where the ACOG actually covers it. What I'll do is I'll chuck this drone down so you can see it, but it's just under there and it's really cheeky. Ben and I were running around on Oregon and trying out a few different things, and we ended up coming into this bathroom down here and shooting up the roof to try and get to the bottom of the bomb. Now, if you don't know exactly whereabouts this is, you can actually shoot down through the bomb and shoot the wooden floor out just below it. That's pretty handy. You don't really want to open up too much to the floor if you can avoid it, but it's not going to be the end of the world if you do. We're chucking the camera up just on that green section. As you can see, we can see the entirety of this site. We can see the double window, and we can even see the room down below. It's really, really handy. Now, the biggest thing about this tip is not going to be the fact that you can see the double window on this site. The one thing that I want you to take away from this particular tip is the fact that you can put it on the bottom of the bomb. You can literally hide the camera underneath the bomb, where the majority of it is hidden. And quite frankly, if the floor is soft in an objective site, it could be used in a lot of different maps. Hopefully this helps you out. Hopefully some of these tips can get your brain working, get you thinking about different ideas. If you did enjoy the video, please consider hitting that thumbs up. And if you don't already, make sure to subscribe. But until next time, ladies and gentlemen, stay reckless and relentless.